Dude, I fucking love Vindsvept. Regardless of what you say about this Nordic-themed or, let's say, woodland-themed music that I always play in here, like some fucking retard, the music is absolutely spot-on gorgeous. I mean, oh, you had to even see this too. Okay, so, let me quickly show you this shit. This is the hotbomb.com. Let's close that down. Look at this guy's backdrop for this shit. Doesn't it look spot on perfect for this type of shit? It is the creme de la crop of this stuff. Does it look gorgeous? Of course, this is like total weird Skyrim shit that you wouldn't be dealing with normally, but ooh, does it get my jingles in a bunch? Fucking love this guy. It's unfortunate I can't support him on Patreon, but this guy does upload good quality stuff. I would say fairly infrequently, though. I mean, his stuff is like once every month or so. It's not terribly common. He's not like Adrian Von Zeigler's, where he can pump out stuff like crazy. It's not like COD. Trust me, it is. Crossout is like COD. You get the same bitch teenagers, like always. And then on top of that, and instead of it being like whiny little kids talking about how they're going to stick their wiener into a parental figure, instead it is Russian people speaking Sikibiet. And I can't understand the goddamn thing that they're saying. Went to the south and never came back. As you can see, we have made a brand new vehicle here, but I think it's not up to our standards. It is not badassery enough. Sure, it's got 2 tracks, wide as shit. That shit needs to be tossed out like a goddamn baby. But before we do that, actually wait. There's been something I really wanted to get. So there's not very many cabin options in this game, but there is this really nice one right here. Look at this shit. It's not pink enough. Unfortunately, I don't think pink is a very combat-ready color, but I think I might have an idea for that. But can you see this thing? This is a badass-looking cabin. Intimidating, low profile, has some really nice stats on it. I mean, this thing can haul nearly 10 metric tons. It's a little bit better than, say, the Fury, which hauls a little bit less, has a little bit more speed compared to the Bear, although the stat difference is hardly anything. I mean, look at this. This is 3 and a little off from max speed, and this is 3. I mean, seriously, look. It's less than maybe 2 or 3 kilometers. There's no way that difference is really going to translate to huge speed differences. But the main thing is the price difference. Holy shit, is this thing expensive. But I would really love to buy one. But we're not going to buy one for that much. Hell no. We're going to buy one for 20.72. We'll order it. I don't care. I mean, we're not going to use the money for anything else. I mean, since the event has gone away, it's really been more about really nothing else, to be honest. Even the items from the Steel Cavalry or the Knights event are not even worth that much. For example, these exotic paints that have no confirmed release are still worth less than $100 a piece. It is because the event went on so long, there is so much supply that it like triple or quadruples the pace for demand. I mean, hell, let's look at this thing. Trade, 40 bucks. Actually, you know, let's make this a little bit easier to see. Where is it up here? Yeah, look at that. It's already gone down in popularity. But say, let's go for the Goblin Shotgun. Where did that go? Okay, well, Fuse drones have actually managed to stay pace with their demand, which blows my mind, because who the fuck uses drones? Like Winnie the Pooh? I would do that. The issue is that it's actually... Oh god, look at that shit. 200 coins, the low probability. And this stuff's actually pretty damn dope. Although the demand still outpaces the Oh, fucking advertisement. But yeah, look at this. The Goblin Shotgun. Look at this. 400 supply offers. These are 400 guns nobody wants that are put on the market. And the demand? 30. So I was severely underestimating for demand. The demand for a Goblin Shotgun is more than, how would I say, dectupled by its own supply. And yet it's still going for nearly 60 bucks, which is like twice what some parts are going for. Oh my god. This is what happens when you let an event go on for too long. The parts are no longer exotic. And the funny thing is too, the Goblin Shotgun will be able to be made relatively cheaply soon. Whenever they decide to release the part on some random faction. My guess is the Lunatics for the Goblin Shotgun. You can make it for really goddamn cheap. To the point where it seems kind of asinine that a person spent a couple $100 on scrap making that one crate. 1,500 scrap, and oh, now somebody can make it for like 3 pennies. Alright, so I actually kind of want to use all of our tracks in this build. So let's just get an idea of where the tracks are going to be. So what we currently have is we have 4 hardened tracks. So these are super thick. Apparently the base I made wasn't even wide enough. These are super thick tracks. And they have a lot of tonnage with them as well. So what I actually would love to do with them is actually use them like a front piece of armor. Legs and tracks, god no. My vehicle would move at a fucking snail's pace. Okay, these are a little bit wider than what I was expecting. How do we make this a little bit thinner? We could do it like this, and then have a 10 piece right here. Yeah, that kind of works. And then, oh wait, no, I just made it the same length. God damn it. Shit, okay. What if we do it this way then? If we extend it out this way. Nope, then we have no place for armor. Okay, shit. I was gonna do no, this would be hextuple, if that's a word, hextuple amount of tracks. It's just gonna be an asinine amount of these parts. So we want it to be one out from the side. So you want to keep it, say like that. Because then we can put some armor plating there, but it won't be ridiculously huge. So then we need to put one part right here. And we can have it like that. Let's repeat that for this side too. So scooch this all the way back. And then right there. So one of the tracks will be on a fairly low structure part, unfortunately. But I think we can resolve that. Maybe, if I wasn't lazy. Here, does that work out? Ooh, yes, it does. So then stick it on this side. Look at that, we still even have a little slice to put our gas generator right there. So if I was to actually put this right there, would it fit? Yes, it would. Perfectly too. Nice. Alright, so then we want to add... We want to get the big track on the outside, since that's going to be the heavy hauler, the thing that's going to carry pretty much this entire thing. We need to get this on the very outside. See, look at that. So now we have like this super fucking sturdy build that can haul an asinine amount of weight. Although we probably want to make this thing a little bit longer. That's just my opinion. Let's go ahead and do a checkered design. Scooch this back a tad bit. Ooh, you know what, actually, let's keep it right there. We want some armor on the back as well. We don't want to keep our backside exposed. So we got this huge honking fucking beast. He's a little bit slow. They are not symmetrical. You are correct. Interesting. Which one's not off? I think it's that one. So then you can put that forward. I think it's a good eye. Let me take a look here. So it needs a little bit more forward. They're both touching the yellow line. And if you hug that back to the cabin, that's 2 off from the front. And that has 2 connections. Alright, so this should be symmetrical now. Although I'm thinking about moving this back a little bit more. Let's just keep that right there. There we go. So the armor tracks themselves actually act as a huge amount of armor. It's kind of like what you do with the spider legs. So spider legs themselves are pretty huge pieces of armor themselves. Since they cover up about half your vehicle's total size, they definitely usually prolong a lot of things from actually hitting you. Especially if they're short, like the Lunatics vehicles. Oh my god, they don't do a shit to you. Okay, so our turns are a tad bit wide. So you clearly see it takes us like a year to fucking turn this thing. God. But imagine this thing probably couldn't get pushed. This thing would be hard as hell to move. Yeah, I guess we can barely move ourselves. That's a good sign. Okay, okay. Could push that out a tad bit more. Alright, so now we can actually start covering this thing up. Ooh, we also did get a brand new radar as well. So this thing, I'm not sure if it's the second most powerful, but it is definitely up there. Definitely the upper echelon of what you want to get. Here, you know what? We can probably... Can we tummy tuck you this in? The only way we can tuck it in is like that. Because then we can start shoving in parts on the side. And the engine kind of acts like armor itself. Damn it. Yeah, the frame's a little bit smaller than what I'm used to. Usually I'm used to having these big fucking honking trucks. So this kind of works. Because then I could just keep all the armor nice and concealed in the car. And are you going to cause me any issues? Here. I noticed that when you have engine parts like that exposed on your undercarriage, best thing you can do to prevent that thing from getting snagged is just get a simple little ramp and cover it like that. So then it doesn't get snagged on anything. And we can't really do it on the reverse because the engine... Any new guns? Actually, let's take a look here. I think that is a no. The only thing we've done recently is that we've gotten a Wasp. But no new guns. I've been mostly focusing on tracks, and on top of that, when it came to the event was just so, I would say, suffocating. Because the thing is that when you're trying to make a large amount of parts, you have to buy scrap off the market. There is nothing else you can do. So what ends up happening? Well, now you have to purchase a asinine amount of scrap, drain the market of all of its scrap. But the issue is that at the same time, you had an event going on that had crates that were 1,500 scrap per. And how the fuck do you deal with that? That is an asinine amount of consumption going on. So prices for scrap were like $9, $10 for 100. And it would cost you like $60 to $70 per part, depending on what you're making. And making epics, oh my god, making these tracks cost me a couple hundred. But I made these hardened tracks during the price decline, so it's actually kind of nice. Here we go. So I'm thinking we could try to do something angular, try to keep the cabin nice and low profile. I'm not sure if we should keep the engine exposed per se, but it might be the only thing we can do. Kind of like it like this, actually. And if we can get that, we're bumped out a little bit more. So kind of like that. Yeah, I'm liking that. And then, how do we protect those fender signs a little bit more? Shenanigans. Now the knives look too ghetto. I don't want to look like it came straight up Compton or some area on Martin Luther King Boulevard. Where's actually those struts? So can you stick those right there? Let's see if those work for now. But now we need something to actually cover up. You have a lot of actual armor to cover up themselves. And I'm actually thinking, should we try to actually keep these tracks concealed as well? I'm actually thinking if we can get these actually frames to go down. No, we can't stick them there. Shit. Okay. I was thinking we could do something cheesy like that. Try to see if we can get the parts to actually clip within themselves. Alright. I was thinking about using the Steppenwolf's parts, because what they can do is we have a lot of these flat strike plates that we can do that there. But we kind of look like an Egyptian pyramid by then. Not sure if you want to look that stupid. Although, to be fair, our card's going to look heinous by the end of this whole thing. And we're already out of those two. Shit. Pepper my Angus. I think we're already fucked on the design. Here, where is the truck door? I think we can actually handle a tad bit more weight now, since it's really no longer a concern of ours. I mean, this truck's kind of fucked to begin with. We're already so huge. Here, you know what? Flip this around. And how far does that forward? And if we stick this on the back, what do we get? God, look at our acceleration. Our acceleration is dog shit. And we haven't added the 1.8 metric tons of weapons that we have. Here. Stick some of these panels on. Yeah, look at that. You had to make an ultra-light car. Yeah, well, let's just go back to this. Car's a little bit too heavy. For some reason, the tracks do not have very good hauling capacity, which kind of blows my mind. You'd feel like a car that huge to be able to haul any fucking pot. You know, if we scooch you back, meet you up with your other winged ancestor, because we don't want this shit to get hit. And it's already about as far back as it can go. God, if there's only 45 degrees, add legs. Because all you're going to do is add legs, add legs, add legs. With them long, wispy legs. I mean, I guess we could do a build. We do have... How many legs do we have now? We have 6 fucking legs. Jesus Christ. Mechanical leg has low speed. No fucking kidding. Alright, fuck it. We'll do a leg build. I haven't done that in ages. I've been doing nothing but tracks. I actually thought about doing a large tire build, because I know they were having the scavenger faction. The benches were at discount for the weekend. So I know people were making a bunch of large wheels. This shit is super good for actually hauling huge vehicles. On top of that, you're also elevated off the ground a little bit more, so you can actually attach shit to the underside. But here, let's try this. We need to get the cabin in here. So we need to get one off each side. That's one off the front. Yes, yes. Alright, we can work with this. The thing is, though, unfortunately, we can't make a car, I think, that's actually wide enough. Sure, we can make a huge car, but the legs themselves actually require half tracks? You know, we haven't made a half track yet. The wheels go in front, right? Although that means we might have to make our cabin exposed. Yeah, let's see what we can do. We have some huge tires. Let's see, what are you thinking? Half track with a elongated track or with just a hardened track? I'm thinking just with a hardened track would actually be kind of cool. Because the hardened track actually allows for pretty decent speeds. And we can even dual half tracks. Yeah, let's go ahead and try crisscross design. And you know what? Let's have the treads in the back. Have a huge area in the back. What we can do is that we can have this at front. Of course, we'll have to connect that. Shh. It's a little bit wide. Do we have something for that? A little bit unfortunate size length here. We could just move it one more forward. Here, you know what? Where is this? Yeah, I think that works. And then we can just have the generator underneath here. Let's slide that right between them thighs. Below the deck, please. I think we could put it back here. For some reason, it's being resistful and not sliding in. I almost kind of wish I had it for depths type of system where you could craft, just kind of sticks on. There we go, beautiful. And then yeah, we need a little bit of armor in the front. All right. Yeah, you're a little bit far back. Let's put you there. Maybe one more forward. So we have this pretty beefy half track set up, but the tires are a little bit wide for this, so our vehicle will look a little bit wonky. I'm thinking this would be about the perfect size. So if you flip this around on this side, and the tires still have a wide stance. There we go. Blends right in now. So then if we actually put these large fenders that we have right here, we can cover up these huge tires. So they shouldn't get shut off nearly as quickly. Okay, okay. And like a true car, we have a huge ass engine right in front. Although I'm almost tempted, since we do have a precious radar here. Where do we keep this thing without getting shut off? We could try to keep it there. Then we have the engine covered up by some pretty decent armor. So how high can this go? We still might need to make this like angled, or actually, let's see what some half tracks look like online. Why, thank you, YouTube, for advertising YouTube. I never would have fucking used it. Recommended by Google Plus. Get the fuck out of here, Google Plus. Did it seriously just try to advertise to me? This is some bullshit betrayal here. What is this heresy? So you're actually looking up half tracks type of deal? I'm not sure actually which ones we would actually use per se. Yeah, a lot of them have that old truck bed in the back. Yeah, see they have the Christie type of wheels designs. That's a half track? I was gonna say it's more of an armored car. Well, the thing is that truck we just ordered looks exactly like this. This looks more like the Fury cabin. Both look spot on. Yeah, I see. I don't think this is a half track. I don't think this is what they had in mind when the military was coming up for designs. I'm going to war, honey. And it fucking works too. Oh my god. Never mind, I don't mean to make fun of him. Well, our payload is going to be our cabin. Because that's really the only precious part. The guns? Nah, fuck them. And these look like they're anti-air. They've actually theorized, or not theorized, but said they're working on anti-air guns, or at least noted the design concept on the forums. Probably won't get those in a hot second. I actually wouldn't mind that as much. Yeah, display capture too. Okay. Kind of hard to say. At least we still do have the engine part in front. We have to make this car extremely long if we wanted the ability to actually, how would I say, something. Nah, we're going to keep it like this. We can totally have the auto gun on the back. Well, there is a really huge auto gun, the AC Whirlwind. This thing is pretty damn good. The unfortunate thing is that it's, how would I say, I wouldn't say shit. It's a little bit harsh. It's just for its power score, it hits a little bit low. Sure, you can shoot phenomenally far distances, but at the same time, it's a fucking autocannon. Autocannons have notoriously low damage, and I doubt anyone's going to be wanting 3 of those guns on his backside while you're plowing through with this thing. Yeah, let's see if we can get this truck look type of deal. I know this is one of the main cabins they advertise here, so let's try this shit. Oh, if we only had 2 of those strike blades, that would actually look spot on. And you could actually have that terrain plow there too. Ooh. That does look menacing. It looks spot on, I would even say. Although we need to get that a little bit more forward. And if we can get that to like right there. Oh yeah, that looks pretty sick. The thing is that the engine peaks out. If we can get that to like right there. In PvP battles, that is, it does strike a little bit low for its power score. But in PvE, the thing is that it just doesn't do a lot of damage in PvE. It's mostly meant for a long-range type of damage dealing, and a lot of PvE matches are mostly brawling. So the thing just kind of gets swarmed and dies. It's not terribly effective. It does have a nice amount of armor, so it doesn't get, you know, often de-armed or stuff like that, but it still doesn't usually do enough damage to actually warrant its use. Could we use an ACP panel here? And then attach this one to here. Yeah, see, then it gets clipped right there at the very end. Fuck, okay. And then if you flip this right here, it's notorious. Know how underpowered it is. Most people don't recommend using it at all at higher power scores, because you just kind of get ass blasted. Hey, you know what? Large fender. Yeah, you definitely have that imposing truck look now. Oh yeah, that looks pretty sick. We're currently only at 12,000 power though. Not too creme de la crop, but it's definitely getting up there. Yeah, let's get that strike pig look on here as well. Flip that around. And then where did that fucking thing go? Here he is. So we can use purely Steppenwolf parts here, and it might look pretty damn good. And if we can get that... Ooh. Thing's too fat. It's just slightly too fat. And it's not like the old radar detector where we could just stuff it in there and call it good. This thing actually uses up space. A little bit unfortunate. It's also going to be kind of hard to mount our cannons on here. Our caucuses, that is. I'm thinking, though. I'm thinking. We could try just using these quarter barrels here. And then flipping this thing around. And you can be right here. Does that thing seriously have a clearance issue right here? No, it doesn't. It's just my game fucking with me. There you go. Works right there perfectly. Oh, does that look a little bit too round for people? We could try the thin strike plate. Yeah, it kind of works. And then we need to cover that up. Actually, wait. Let's actually consider the caucuses now. We still actually have decent speed and acceleration, so that's actually kind of nice. So we need to get these guns mounted. Acceleration is actually taking a real big fucking hit. God. There's most of our power. I think it should be good, though. We could actually try to do a staircase type of approach. We could have one there, one off to the side. This one I'm just a little bit uncomfortable with, because it's currently not attached to any parts that are directly welded to the frame. So the thing right now is purely resting on 41 points of structure, even though it has close to 10 times that. So if you keep it right there, what I'm thinking we could do is instead use these large slopes. So then we could still keep that aggressive looking angled design on the car. And then keep that engine nice and covered up. But now we have a little bit more armored, and this thing's attached to the engine itself. And the engine itself, I think, has 300 structure, so it's definitely safe. Well, it extends up a little bit too high for my tastes. If we can get this on here, actually. Actually, could then we flip this around? Hey, I think that works. We still have that one little hole right there. I'm sure we can fill that with something. Actually, it's strut. It's about as slim as you can get, but I don't think that can fit in there. Yeah, that ain't fitting. What about you? Could you fit in there? Or you know what we actually could do? That could be like the rear view mirrors type of deal. I'm not sure if that would be a thing on a car like this. I actually kind of like it like that. So then if we attach these say parts. Actually, let's go ahead and attach that. It's easier. I'm thinking could have, where is that part? I know it's here. This thing. So then we can attach this. What the fuck's going on here? 1 second, I'm getting a call for some reason. Got John Wick going on. They killed a little puppy. I'm gonna be on the murderous rampage for another 17 kills. I actually thought the John Wick 2 movie was actually not that bad. The first one, definitely some gore porn. I won't deny that. To be fair though, it kind of reminded me a lot of Taken 3 almost. Although I think they came out around the same time too. Just the stylings of John Wick and Taken are fairly similar in their action scenes. The motivation for all the gore porn is also really lackluster. So in both cases, John Wick and Taken are pretty good. One just has a Middle Eastern aesthetic and one has a nightclub aesthetic with the Russians. They're actually strangely similar now that I actually think about it. They're like 1-for-1 copies almost. Alright, so the gun mount. Ooh, actually, if we keep it flat face down, we can actually make this thing pretty damn low profile. And then keep that right there. And keep that on that side of the cabin. And if we move this thing over, we can actually have a pretty nice concealed car. This thing won't be able to shoot behind itself as much, but it's actually kind of good because that gives the thing pretty much entire clearance to shoot around itself. This would be a little bit more of a sketchy design, but I think this will work out. Mostly you want to get 2 of your caucuses able to fire at a single target at once. It's impossible to get all 3 caucuses to shoot at anything at the same time. Except for when you're facing forward, that is. And a little bit off to the sides. But facing directly to the sides, you're going to be a little bit hard-pressed. And shooting backwards is going to be impossible because you have to have an ultra-wide vehicle for that to be accomplished. Yeah, I think that works, though, pretty damn nicely. We just need to cover up this huge gaping hole. That'd actually be kind of sweet that they can actually cover up the whole thing. Just kind of looks really fucking ugly, though. God, if these weren't the only two good gun mounts in the game. There we go. Okay, what else could we put in there instead? The Stefan really has nothing for us right now. It's too thick, it's 3 wide, and yet nothing is 3 wide. If we just scooch this over 1... and then put that right there. There we go, then we can actually cover this thing up. Making it a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. There you go, I like that. Hey, what's up, Zero Destroy? How you doing? Here you go. Making sure I didn't actually transition over yet. It's still good. There you go. I think that's about as truck aesthetic as we're gonna get. I am your troll, okay? I'm not sure what you mean by troll, but I already... You can't be worse than the fucking Turkish people. I got plenty of those fucking guys. Although probably at this point, you know, they're all probably all dead. And you can replace them, feel free. As long as YouTube doesn't kill me. Castrate me off this site. I love you. You know, strangely enough, I already have somebody like that who's like an adoring fan. Something straight off Skyrim. Those Turkish people are funny. It's funny though, Wet Night, it's not everybody can deal with them. It's so sketchy if I have a crowd that can deal with them or not. So by the time the Turkish people come in, they're like, oh, fuck pussy, butch. They just start swearing up a storm, and I'm like, ah, God, do I have to moderate them this time or not? I want them back. Well, they're in a Steam group, so if you can find that Steam group and be like, may I come in your booty hole? They might let you in. Well, you really gotta know what you're fucking signing up for. They'll molest you like no one's other being has known on this planet. Subscribe to OBB. Alright, it's a baby. I think this is about as close as we can get. I don't know, should we cover up her head at all? That's about as close as I can get to what they're saying. They say that shit all the time. I don't know why. Like they're role-playing their fantasies from Magic Mike. A little bit too sexually aggressive one day. They saw the power in... God, what was the guy's name? Guy from Magic Mike. What was his name? That Damien, I think it was. They went tranced by him. There we go. I think that can actually cover up the full side. Ooh, you know what? I'm thinking this will be a little bit lopsided, but we could do this where we just cover up the sides. Shit, how do we get that down? I think the strut's the only way we can go. Yeah. Here's your armored truck. Although we actually have a lot more parts to go through. We could try... We need to get this thing's structure up, so what I'm thinking is we'll arm this shit out of the underside of the carriage. So we shouldn't be able to get rammed at all. Here we go. That would actually be perfect for this thing. Like the one downside. And how much actually accelerate? Ooh, we have plenty of weight left too, okay. I don't know, can we attach that there? No, god damn it. Actually, wait, can we? I swear the backside of this truck's fucking huge. How do we not have enough space? So that's the limit right there. And can these parts slip right in? Oh yeah, there we go. Make that, ooh. Our acceleration is a tad bit low for our taste. Yeah, it looks like we just got to that peak area where our engine craps out. It's kind of bullshit though. This car should be able to handle 3 times this. There's 2 tracks on here. A Mark III engine and a full-size semi-truck cabin. How the hell is this thing not able to haul this thing? There we go. Perfectly aligns there. I'm not sure why we have an odd amount of that. Okay, we still got that. Let's try the wings. Kind of a winged underside. I'm not sure if this is gonna work. It kind of does. Kind of does. Kind of look like a nautical ship in almost in a sense. With an underside that's flat and curved with water. That should be really sweet. This game actually added in a whole fucking section about that. Although it may be a tad bit too complex for what they're going for. You know, let's go ahead and switch this out for these things. There we go. As long as we got that HP, that's all that matters. I know that you want to keep this truck aesthetic, so we won't try to add too much armor plating out here. And actually, though, we could add the siding, though, that actually looks like we have a full-fledged crew back there. Oh, yeah, that looks pretty sweet. I'm liking that. I'm liking that. God, our acceleration, though, is dog shit. What I'm guessing is what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to take out these strike plates and replace them with something a tad bit lighter. So if we replace those down here with this, or actually no, we could probably actually replace those with buggy cabins, and then on the top replace these with this part, because that thing is a lot lighter than 400 pounds. So take these things out. Got 6 of these things. So scrunch these all the way in the back. And then scrunch this to the side. It'll still look like a truck with armor plating and all that. It just won't be nearly as heavy. This thing's a tad bit too fat. Here we go. And the radar detector. Yeah, it won't be as well armored, but it's gonna be damn up there. Here we go. Where the fuck are they at? There we go. Stick these on the front. Yeah, it doesn't look nearly as good on the underside, but we'll deal with that. Because for the most part, this thing looks still pretty badass, and it's still 2,200 structure, not structure, but yeah, structure, I should say. And it still has decent acceleration, really great speed. Really, the only thing that we can do is probably try to give it a Crossout aesthetic by adding in hubcap, and not hubcaps, sewer caps in here. So it gives us reputation as well as Does it add to the overall structure? No, it doesn't, actually. Shit. They have the highest structure, but we don't need that. Fuck it, let's add bags. That's Crossout enough, right? Looking like a convoy carrier. And actually would match real well considering you are with the... What is it? The Nomads faction? Lights in the front. Definitely lights in the front. So, that side's covered up by that. So let's have it in like areas that make sense. Actually, you know what? We can have the hell lamps right here. Since we actually have the extras, and you know what? We will need a spare tire. Oh, wait, shit, we're out of parts already. Fuck. Let's get rid of these. And you know what? Let's get rid of one of these two. So what we can do is that we also get the outer fenders. Look hella intimidating. And it actually does cover up the wheels a little bit more, so rockets, if they actually barely skim us, they shouldn't do as much damage. Okay. And then lights, like you said. We get 2 more for lights. Where could we actually put these things at? We could try putting fluorescent lamps. And that's already taken up by that shit.
Listen anywhere.
Fucking YouTube.
All your music, no interruptions. YouTube Red.
I'm thinking we could do some lights right here. We could change this up, adding 2 headlights. I think it's about as good as we can get. Otherwise, we'd start sacrificing a lot of armor. We actually have strangely more armor than our previous car. Although, to be a little bit admitting, our armor tracks are definitely not as well concealed. They still have a little bit of armor, thanks to this APC paneling and the fender in front. But to the side, these things are still fucking sore. At least we have 6 pairs of things now. Let's actually test this out. And the turning's actually pretty good now too, now that we have the tires. Because the thing is that for some reason in this game, the tracks themselves do not have any turning whatsoever. At least until when you start getting up to 4 or even 6. And the lights actually do work themselves. Like, try to do this with only 2 tracks and you'll clip fucking everything possible to maneuver with this thing. It feels like it has a lot lower of acceleration than it does. Why the hell is it like that? Something like this should be moving actually a lot faster. Definitely at lower speeds though, it does have a lot better turning. This should be really nice. Let's try it out with other cars. It's actually handling up itself pretty damn nicely. I want to see how well the Caucasus handle in different environments. And for the most part, they're able to hit everything. Not that bad. The one in the front, though, doesn't get that much action. We might have to do something like this, where we basically mount it like that. So they still all fire 3 to the front. Although to the side now we're kind of fucked. Because it'll still be limited to 2. But behind us, we should be actually able to hit all 3 targets. Yeah, for the most part we can. It kind of works out. I don't know, what do you think about that? And then can actually have those two. Where do those things go? These things. And I'm not sure about the headlights. Oh yeah, we can just have, say, fluorescent lights instead. Yeah, I think that actually works out a lot better. That's pretty damn sweet. Let's actually try this thing out, though. Fuck, we're not doing Siege. Siege will give us absolutely fucking destroyed. Let's try this. And Siege is boring, too. Siege is the only one where autocannons actually have rain. Everything else, nah. They're terrible. So this actually be a good test. If this thing can actually manage to walk, or to manage to actually stay mobile by the end of this, it'd be perfect. And this is where the extra speed actually does come in handy. Look at this. 3 of us are using Caucasus and a rocket drone. Beautiful. All we need is to get that bear cabin and we're solid. That bear cabin is what we definitely need. We can actually get back to those ultra low profile cars again. Oh, fucking orgasmic. I love those things. Sure, the Wyvern Cavern's pretty good. The issue is that the guns are very limited. You can't have guns like mine, the Caucasus, since they're super wide. On the Wyvern Cavern, they kind of conflict with that little dome shape. So you often have to put them above the cabin. Yeah, I think this actually still works though, because you're able to get at least 2 guns off at all times. It's really only the signs that we're trading for. You often don't brawl at an angle though. Although you kind of do, it depends. Like if you're on defense, then you brawl at an angle. Look at this, we fucking surpassed everyone else. This is gonna be a tad bit sketch though. Can you fire it at any single person? Here we go, let's back this thing up, back it up. Unfortunately, we cannot do a turn in place now. That's like the one unfortunate thing. Ooh. Look at that, we're actually still thin enough too to actually fit through a lot of shit like that. It's beautiful. I'm loving this half-track design so far. It looks just aesthetically amazing to me. Kinda, I don't know. What's your gripes with this wet night? Shit, fucking rude. Get the fuck out of here. Well, you know what we could do? We could take off that train plow. Nah, that would blend in really well. It blends in really well with that nice downward sloped angle right there. Fucking light up too. All things gorgeous. And it's perfectly symmetrical too, I think now actually as well. Left and right. So you cut this thing down straight in the middle. And you couldn't get a more perfect vehicle. God, heist on normal is a joke. On hard mode, the amount of enemies you get is like triple the shit. I think the wheels actually add stability to this too. All these people are way too slow for me now. I was gonna fucking fire a quarter at me. That's adorable. I don't think I took a single point of damage that entire fight. Shh, what a joke. That's actually a great side. I'm keeping that shit. This I think I'll use as my permanent car. It's really nice. Has a lot of extra structure than most vehicles. Of course, I can make my vehicle look absolutely hideous with 6 spider legs and try to get that extra bit of power in there. But I ain't fucking trying that. Oh, for those of you who don't know, that bear cabin that I'm trying to get, it comes from this thing right here. Whoops. I did not mean to click it twice. But this thing right here, it's $50 to get. if they couldn't sell it on the market. An exclusive cabin that you wouldn't be able to get anywhere else. And it looks really nice too. It has some of the highest tonnage as well. Ooh, okay. Here we go. There's actually a new event going on right now, so instead of those really shitty crates that you can get from things like brawls, let me show you these things. These found at Wasteland crates that are absolutely god-awful. The daily reward is actually being replaced with an adventurer's crate, which for the most part is pretty shit. You most likely get a common part, and you can sell it for like $6. But you know, we'll go ahead and fucking open it for you guys. I actually kind of want to see how they do with the non-tradable parts. Ooh, rocket booster. Ooh, we could... Okay. So... we could use this rocket booster. That'd be great for... say, any... how would I say? Any races. We don't use races that often. It's 1 energy. It's basically a good Ava booster. The thing is, though, is that we win races quite easily with Ava boosters, so I'm going to try for something better. Try for 2 more cents, see what better good we get. Okay, yeah, we're definitely trying that again. No, we can't, though. Because we ran out of scrap. Shit. The unluckiness of me. My greed got to me. Fuck. Well, that was a waste of $6. Oh well. It's not like the fucking matters. We got hundreds upon hundreds of dollars worth of copper here. It's actually gone up in price? What? Yeah, look at that. It's nearly 130. That's actually really high. I can earn $230 of this thing. 230. If I sold a stack of 2,000. Alright, that's beautiful. Alright, so we're keeping this thing. It'll replace consume. Consume looked like dog shit, to be honest. Here we go. No, I did not mean to do that. Nope, screw off. It actually might even replace King of Trash, to be honest. King of Trash, I love this build. Slow as shit, though. It's a super nice boxy design, though. For some reason, people like that box design. Here, what could we get rid of it? Yeah, let's get rid of this crawling minigun. It's a terrible build. And the Slim Caucus. It's pretty bad as well. The Slim Caucus, though, for some reason, is an extremely good design, though, in small-scale PvE. Here we go. Go ahead and leave us. Blueprint exhibition, send error. Send error. No, whatever, fuck you. This thing will be the King of Trash as well. Hey, what's up, Josh? How you doing? You're welcome. We just finished our brand new cabin design. Actually, in itself, it actually kind of looks like the bear cabin. I'm liking it. 'Tis the King of Trash. Wait. Making sure that's the right one. Yes, it is. Or we can actually call this a Queen of Trash. Why not? Since the old Queen of Trash has gone away, its pinkness relegated to a darker age. Here we go. I'm thinking though, while we're here, fuck it, we'll just do wires. We'll go ahead and get the brand new assembly here. This I've actually tried about with a variety of shit in here, but what I'm thinking is, ooh, let's get rid of this and let's try something else. I haven't tried these things in a hot second. Haven't tried autocannons. They recently redid these ones, so they have less power score as well as they have less energy drain, so I can actually house 2 of them on this one cabin with the added benefit of a cooler. Since the thing is always standing still, let's add that on there. Yeah, it's actually perfect. And we're at only, oh god, we're only at 4.3 power. Easy shit, okay. And let's go ahead and add, does it already have the tire on there? Yes, it does. Alright, beautiful, let's see what this is like. I actually wanted to try this out. Ooh, you know what, this is actually a good map too. Some guys also using it. This cabin, though, would actually benefit a lot if we had the Bear cabin or the Fury cabin. Just because we'd be able to get that extra bit of low profiledness. So our car wouldn't peak nearly as much. You retracted your high, okay. I see it's how it is. God, this fucking wasp launcher's coming straight for me. Get the hell out of here. Those things, for actually being an only like 200 power score car, still magically does a lot of damage. It's actually impossible for me to kill Hannah from this far away. Didn't mean to, sorry. It's all good, mate. There we go, though. These things are actually super fucking beefy, though. Since it's really hard to actually attack these things from the side due to their super low profile car. Oh, shit. This is actually kind of hard. The thing is that this little, I would say, base is in a slight depression. So you actually have to peek over the hill if you actually want to do any damage. What the hell's fucking dying? I can't really tell, though. There we go. Keep your wheels off. Hell yeah. Ooh, beautiful Claudia. Get the fuck in there. Jesus. It's nothing but sidekick drones here. It's kind of hard for me to hit because these things are so fast. You know, fuck it. We'll just go straight for the car itself. There we go, just keep capturing, we might win by attrition alone. Tow or artillery build? I mean, I could try that. The issue is I don't have really... There we go, fucking got it. We could try that. I don't have a tow launcher though, unfortunately. The tow launcher as well has been nerfed to absolute shit. So it's just kind of a boring thing to use. You kind of just hide in the back parts and then you throw your launcher out. It actually makes the Hans guy, though, once you get up to Chemist, really valuable. That shit would definitely help out. The only thing expensive there, though, is the scrap. Because that extra 2 seconds would really help out in low power score. Yeah, I think this, though, is pretty good. And on top of that, we still need to get up to about 3,000 power score. Sure, 4,000 is not that high. I mean, you saw the vehicles we were facing. They were all super lightly armored, with maybe some good guns. There's nothing really good at this low power score. There's the occasional new guy who decks out their car in just head-to-toe in armor, and it has like white tier guns like that guy. Those are the guys you also face. Those guys are actually probably deadlier than the people who are like me with decent guns, since they have a lot more armor and a lot more shitty guns. They can actually disarm us pretty quickly. There we go. They're not gonna get me from here. It would actually probably help if I didn't have the engine installed. This car's not really that heavy with the caucus taken out. Oh yeah, I fucking love this. I don't know why you even need that scope on this thing, to be honest. This thing is super easy to use. Ooh, some guy's getting absolutely destroyed right there. Oh no, he's got this. If I can shoot me, you can help with the fucking nanny. Just becoming a little angel. Look at that, he's not even doing anything. He's using fucking caucus drones. Or not caucus, what am I saying? The sidekicks. God, I've seen way too many of those out in here. The only benefit is that they're super, how would I say, bulky to carry around. That's the only consolidation. We could make those, to be honest. Let's see, we can have a max up to 15 energy. And if we get that Fury cabin, that Bear cabin I mean, sorry, that's 10 energy. So then if we add a gas generator to that, we get 13. So then we can have a grand total of 4 of those sidekicks with a powerful radar on top of it. I'm thinking we can do that. And you'd definitely be able to haul it too, because it's a super light build as well. And I love it. How long are you going to stream for? Well, it depends. I usually stream for an hour, but if I get addicted, I can play it for up to 10 hours. Usually depends though, but I have to get up early tomorrow, so... Ooh, I could probably play for maybe about another 18 minutes. I'm sorry if I just burst in your bubble really quickly, but I do have to get up early tomorrow, and I've been ignoring my clock. So I've been just absolutely fucked in the head for like the last, ooh, how would I say, week? I've been doing 12-hour fucking sleep-ins, and it's killing me, to be honest. It's absolutely fucking killing me. Waking up when the sun comes down and then trying to fucking function. Kill me. But yeah, we'll have to end this soon, and then maybe we can stream tomorrow. Why? Oh God, I'm not even functioning right now. I'm running into walls. Screw it, let's just snipe. You can't stop us. I'm not sure how I feel about these new changes to the coolers they've made. The coolers do add a dynamic now to your build. And that's kind of interesting. With shotgun builds, radiators are not nearly as effective. So people who do like fast-paced shotgun ramming builds no longer get a huge benefit out of their cars. But things like this, the autocannons actually do pretty damn well. Yeah, there you go, call my dad. Call my dad. Why is he committing suicide? His car is not even damaged. And he just kills himself. What the fuck? There we go, let's peek on this hill. Ooh, shit, back up. Yeah, fuck it, we can snipe from behind. This is actually probably better considering our car is front heavy. God, look at this guy. He's just pure ramming with frames and augers, I think. Or is it saws? They're definitely not going to continue. Yeah, just run off the point. Yeah, totally not going to guarantee your loss. Yeah, well, fucking need missiles. Ooh, I would love to do clans. Because the thing is, honestly, one of the funnest weapons I want to try is this thing, the porcupine. Even though this is probably one of the shittiest relics that you can make, it's still like $20,000 to get. One of the shittiest relics you can get, but it is still something I absolutely want to get. Of course, it doesn't help that you require an asinine amount of parts, and clan battles being so infrequent. How do even people get those beforehand is my question. Could you get them out of, like, the relic containers? Is that what I'm thinking, where people got it from? Because the fact people got them at all before you could even craft them kind of blows my mind. Get this $400 to $4,000 crate, and then you get a $20,000 weapon. Sell it once, and you're good for your entire Crossout career. I can see why they're concerned about inflation. But those one weapon alone, I think, cost close to $1,000. In real-life currency, that is. Cost an asinine amount. Although, I would actually like to see I'm not sure if they're gonna actually do this, but if they did something similar to what they did in Diablo, where they had real cash being implemented on the market, if they could actually implement that in a game like this, where you could sell items on the market for real cash, you know, just sell like radios for like a penny or shit like that, so you could like gradually earn money. That sounds like it might be highly illegal, but I could definitely see that being used. I don't know, they probably have to shut down their servers like what they had to do with Diablo 3. Definitely give whales that were a tad bit more power. Ooh, I see that guy peeking over with the Spectre. There we go. Who the hell's not in the point yet? I don't know. We're just battling on the point. Ooh, a lot of people are battling on the point. He's Dubs, augers, saws, he's fucking everything. Fucking everyone has these fucking weapons on here. This actually be a perfect time for this thing. Bye-bye. Look at that though, I blew up and that guy's weapons didn't even come off. I know they're resistant to contact damage. I don't know they're resisting towards explosive damage though. I feel like that guy's like entire front side would be entirely blown off. How the fuck did he survive that? Or actually wait, it probably could have been a thing since my cabin was probably above where his weapons were. That's what I'm thinking it is. Is this a Vindsvept song? That's odd. I've never seen this. He actually made a death metal song. A Doctor Who inspired metal song. The fuck? Oh god. Wait, what the hell? Why does this guy have a light generator with only 2 caucuses? That cabin, I think, has 11 power. With that, he has 12. Oh, wait, is he a triple conch build? I've seen those. I actually could try that at low power scores. Triple caucuses, uber low power score. That shit would be actually really powerful. And you could melt people. Because a lot of these people have less than 1,000 HP. And with 3 caucuses, you can do maybe about 150, 115 damage per second if all the shots hit. And then you have 1,500 damage worth of weapons, and it's basically impossible to disarm you at that point. Ooh, this is a perfect map for me. It'd actually be kind of nice if we could have custom servers so that you have your own separate map rotation. You know, I'm thinking they could actually kind of do what I think Killing Floor 2 does at their map services. You have your own server selection, but you have your own community-inspired maps and community servers. But they probably wouldn't work out too well with the community market in this game. Who the fuck is beelining it for me? You are a cancerous piece of shit. A harvester weapon that is $2,000 he's ramming with me. Please, I want your weapon, give me. That'd actually be a really supremely good weapon to have. Like, I could use it on my even high power score builds. Because it'd actually be probably one of the best plows you can have. Somebody rams right in front of you, go ahead, I have a harvester. I'll fucking gnaw your face off. God, I shouldn't be brawling like this. Especially in shitty guns like this. Oh, we definitely need to fucking go defend. Oh, beautiful. Is he dead? Oh no, he's just pussing out in the corner. He actually could have capped it too. Or was he trying to hide from Gunther? Ooh, you're fucked. Let me see, look at that. He still has that Fury cabin too. I swear that has to be the cabin of choice for this power score. It's probably one of the best ones you can get. It's not like the Jawbreaker where you have that ultra wide vehicle that's basically impossible to armor, at least effectively. But to get that Baron Fury cabin, oh yeah, uses a cheap little 1 or 2 frames, you're perfect, entire cabin covered. Not this shit. What is your build even? This thing's not even firing at me. It's just 3 machine guns tethered onto a Growl cabin. God, that guy must have like 3 power score. Look, here's his friend too. Getting chased by Pyre launchers. Fuck. I feel bad for him. Where you go? God, it sucks now that I don't have a radar. Yeah, I see you. How have you guys not killed him yet? There we go. Oh no, he has vectors. He didn't fire a single shot the entire time we were killing him. I mean, if you want to be a passive just rider going around the wasteland, get a caucus. Most easy thing you can do. Of course, you can't ride max speed anymore, but still. 2 caucuses, 1 little radar on your thing, you're set. You're set. Here you go. Should we... Yeah, no. Looks like the swamp's actually getting all the battle. Like this Nikki's already managed to overextend like crazy. What do I think the most overpowered weapon in the game is right now? Ooh, hard to say. I mean, mostly what makes the current meta so prevalent is what comes down to physics. So, in Clan Wars, what you'll often find is that most builds end up revolving around using large ramps on the front of your vehicle. So they'll use, say, a small plow and a train plow. It'll use that as their front contact of that ramp. What the fuck are you even doing? Sorry, one second, I'm getting distracted for a hot second by this little shit. But yeah, like I said, they use a train plow and a small plow as the front contact, and then just have a little ramp going on. And once they just wedge themselves right underneath your cabin, there's really nothing you can do. As long as they floor the accelerator and pin you against something, you can't really wiggle yourself out. So then it just becomes about a bursting match. Can the guy burst you down before you self-destruct? And what they usually have is thunderbolts and shotguns like that. And since shotguns are nice and low profile, you can't really do anything about them. You're just kind of screwed at that point. They burst down in half a second, and there's really no contesting that meta. 1 second. I need to get the shotgun off this guy, like, right fucking now. Oh, beautiful. Yeah, there's no way you're winning here. Reapers have also become fairly popular. Due to just their sheer structure. Their structure is very similar to that of... what is it? I'm trying to remember it off the top of my head. It is very similar in structure to that of the Caucus, in which it has like close to 500 structure and does about nearly as much DPS as the Thunderbolt, but it can effectively deal that at medium to long ranges, while the Thunderbolt's kind of limited to maybe short. Medium range is pushing it though. And so the Reaper has become extremely popular in Clan Wars. The only drawback to that is that it is a large gun, has a limited ammo selection, and it costs currently like what, $2,000 to $3,000 on the market per. So you have to spend a couple $100s to get that. And that's a pretty popular one of the gun right now. And both of those are extremely cancerous to face against, especially in things like Storm Warning. Holy fuck, kill me if I have to face those things. Makes you want to gouge my eyes out. Oh yeah, here. I'm just in a fucking little caucus build, 9,000 power score. Here's a 13,000 fucking ton behemoth with 17 ammo racks that I can't pop, and this little shit is just ramming me down. I can't fucking do anything about it. I think he has 3,000 ammo. I can't fucking stop him. And he bursts down me in 15, gets rid of all my guns in half a second. But I mean, other than that, what are more powerful guns? I mean, machine guns are still shit. They're really easily blown off. The Defender, I mean, does a decent amount of damage, but still, it mostly is only effective if you're able to get the drops on somebody and knock off a couple of their guns. I would say Wasp and Cricket launchers are still pretty damn good. Those have a pretty severe counter though. Cricket has a high power score and is generally very weak. And the Wasp is really, really weak. And unless you shroud that thing like crazy, it gets blown off really quickly. And on top of that, it's still 4 power score each. So you still have to use a generator if you wanted to get anywhere decent DPS. Let's see what else is there right now. I'm thinking melee weapons have actually become a little bit more prevalent. I've noticed in lower power score games. I always play in the, as you can see, in the 4K range in PvE modes. That's become a lot more common now. People, you just end up getting a lot of drones and just deck their car out with 7 saws, a harvester. And those actually do a lot of damage, but those are also limited by your driver's skills, so you don't see those often. Oh, what else is there? Autocannons, yeah, they're still shit. I mean, great at long ranges, and they're pretty nice because now they have very low power score, so you can actually use them at a decent, I would say, playing field. But get rammed, get anything close to you, you're done. And on top of that, this game is not very friendly to artillery. Artillery does not do very well in this game, especially since you can't do like an arc firing shot. The only thing that can do that is the Mandrake. Let's talk about the Mandrake. The Mandrake itself, it's a very nice weapon. The issue is that it currently doesn't really do a whole lot. And any power score, yeah, it has nice damage potential, but people move too fast. For one thing, people are way too armored. The spread on the shots is way too big. And it's hard to say. It's also just really expensive to get and not very common. And it has very low ammo capacity. The low ammo capacity makes it very, very unforgiving to use in PvE matches. Mess up 2 shots, and that's basically 20% of your DPS, you know, a third of your DPS gone instantaneously. So these are not terribly good as well. The Retcher is not very good either. The Hurricane is decent, but you can definitely easily counter it, and I know the Mammoth Cannon, from what I understand, has the lowest DPS. It's even lower than, say, the Executioner, which has armor-penetrating abilities. And, yeah, the Hurricane, like I said, is decent, but not very good. The Reaper is the only good gun, because, like I said, the structure on it, super high, nearly 400 power structure. Very similar to that of a cannon. Not as much as the Mammoth Cannon, of course, but still good. The Retcher, it sucks. Don't even use it. I mean, it does decent DPS. It's just super, super, super hard to aim. As well as it not being terribly, I wouldn't say cost effective. But trying to lob 4 volleys at somebody, it's really only good in like invasions where you can pop off a lot of armor. With the Lunatics, the Hammer Fall shotgun, I mean, it's decent, but I think what I understand is 3 Thunderbolts is better. They were nerfed a little bit, made it a little bit weaker, but I mean, still, you can have 3 of these things on your cabin, put a bunch of weapons coolers on there, and you will ass blast somebody sideways 7 different ways. Oh yeah, and spears are still pretty good. Spears are probably, I wouldn't say the most overpowered weapon, but in a game like this, it's very hard to counter spears if somebody knows what they're doing. If they go invisible, you're fucked. I mean, this person can then just like ram you off to the side and instantly kill you. Especially if they have like 10 of these Lancelot spears. Holy fuck, are you screwed. I mean, I tested with one Lancelot build, in which what did I do with it? I think it charged it up. I had about, I think, 8 or 10 lances on it, and I rammed it into the side of my Leviathan. My Leviathan has close to 4,000 to 5,000 HP, and when it rammed it into the Leviathan, it instantly killed it. Like, it instantly evaporated. For something like that to do close to 5,000 to 6,000 damage that quickly is super hard to counter. If you had an entire team like that, they were able to get a drop on somebody, you could instantly win, say, Clan Wars. But that potential hasn't been fully utilized yet. And on top of that, I believe they're getting balance changes as well. There's a recent forum post where I believe Captain Nero opened up a discussion for balancing changes on lances. So you actually might see something happen with them pretty soon, actually. Hard to say what's actually going to happen with them. They're pretty decent. Sure, they only have one use, but in an average game, the average person will maybe get 1 or 2 kills, if any. What about a really low power score Mandrake build? Like I said, they won't have the ammo capacity in order to actually do much. As well as in low power scores, most builds are super thin. So the Mandrake has a super hard time actually killing people. Especially in maps like this one, Ship Graveyard. Since most people tend to spread out, except for this team. This team's retarded. They would be decimated by Mandrake. It's just not terribly good. Especially as well, you also become a huge target for people. You just stare there clustered up. Beautiful. I think I'm seeing David down there. Let's get him out of here. I'm trying to pop off his tires, but he's moving a little bit too fast for me. Ooh, let's see if we can go around this way. Ooh, I see somebody. It's really hard to aim this far out, since it can just move in random little patterns. Oh, there we go. I think I got his tire off. I can't tell because he's not properly rendered this far away. Yeah, let's pop that shit off. Yeah, there's no way he's escaping. Yeah, you're fucked. Where did that third guy go? I don't see him. On top of that, I actually haven't seen that very many low power score Mandrake builds. I have seen a couple that used starter wheels, a van cabin, a powerful radar, and a Mandrake. Those kind of work, but not really. We also don't really need a radar for low power scores. It's pretty easy to get shit done with the Mandrake. And on top of that, you just fire in areas that are highly congested. Like the river map, it's super easy to know where to shoot. Arc it all the way into that one little crevice, and you're at least guaranteed for 1 kill. On top of that, I just don't think a lot of people have a lot of experience with the Mandrake, it seems. They use the Mandrake and try to actually get something done, and yet they get less than like 1 or 2 kills. Absolutely wretched. Ooh, shit, though. It's way past. Fuck. I didn't realize it was this late already. But I think we'll have to call it quits here. Thank you all for joining me this evening. And sorry for the little bit of a short stream. But it was actually kind of fun. Actually getting a nice, beautiful half-track design in here. Thank you for the recommendation, Wet Night. And for those of you who don't know, I was streaming on Twitch, YouTube, and Mixer. Follow on whichever platform's your favorite, but Twitch does have a loyalty system as well as notifications appearing on stream, so keep that in mind. And other than that, there's links down below to your favorite social media platforms that you would like to do. Unbridge works really well, especially with new players. It definitely does, especially considering most people tend to be quite pussies and pussyfoot around that one little crevice they can shoot in before the river starts, or just even on the edges of the bridge. So the Mandrake's huge spread can end up hitting like half the team. It's pretty good. Unfortunately, there's only one map, and on top of that, at low power scores, people tend to, how would I say, I wouldn't say wuss out, but what they do is that they just kind of bum rush each other. There's really no skill at low power scores, so the Mandrake gets really screwed if they have a low defense from their team and they just get bum rushed and they die easily. That's one bad thing. But I should be able to stream a little bit tomorrow. We'll see. I know tomorrow is, I think, what, Sunday? Church day? Might have to go to my Satanist club and actually find out what when the ritual starts. But other than that, people, I'll see you at another time. Good night.